7 rappers who have gotten deported. In recent years, the topic of immigration has been in the headlines numerous times. Celebrities can face deportation during their time in the spotlight if their papers aren't in order. Tours can cause problems as some celebs leave and face difficulties re-entering the country. Immigrants in the United States can face deportation when they fail to follow the terms of their visa or maintain their citizenship status. They can also get deported for failing to notify the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services of any change in their address. Committing crimes or violating any of the immigration laws set by the country can also land immigrants in hot water. However, trouble isn't always able to be avoided. Most recently, the arrest of 21 Savage made headlines as the world discovered that he was actually born in the United Kingdom. 21 Savage is not alone, as there have been countless rappers facing deportation over the years. Let's take a look at 7 rappers that have been detained by ICE and had trouble remaining in or returning to the United States. Before we start the video, make sure to click the like button and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. 7. Bushwick Bill. Bushwick Bill, born Richard Shaw, was originally a citizen of Jamaica. As a child, he relocated to the United States and became an established member of the Ghetto Boys, a southern rap group. He was a storyteller, telling the tale of his fight between the good and evil inside of him. For a while, it seemed he indulged his demons, even losing his eye one night when he was stoned and intoxicated. He moved from his home in Houston to Bushwick, Brooklyn, with the hopes of using his industry connections to rekindle his career and start fresh after a troubled past. He had started his journey toward a sober lifestyle, living as a Christian and maintaining his sobriety. However, things went wrong one day in May of 2010, and Bushwick Bill was arrested for possession of drugs. When he was arrested, the police discovered that he had a green card and was not a U.S. citizen. Due to his previous convictions, he was threatened with deportation. Ultimately, his residency in the U.S. was saved, and he lived in the States up until his tragic passing in June of this year. 6. MF Doom. MF Doom, one of the most revered underground MCs of 2010, was born in London. Also known as Daniel Dumoulin, his family moved to the U.S. when he was young, making New York their home. However, the rapper never received his citizenship after moving into the country. All was fine until he went on a European tour in 2010 and tried to return to the U.S. He may have thought that his growing family in the country would influence his ability to re-enter the country, but his luck ran out when he met with a no-nonsense U.S. official. He was detained and has been living in South London ever since, making music. The rapper insists that he's done with the United States, but his fans hope that this is simply not true. 5. L.A.J. Money. L.A.J. Money, a rapper hailing from Sierra Leone, made the U.S. his home. However, the vision of a long life in the country was crushed when he received the news that he may be deported. At first, the rapper claimed that the allegations were simply an attempt to spread negativity. The rapper served an 8-year prison sentence for several crimes, including credit card fraud, identity theft, car theft, and being in possession of illegitimate immigration documents. He was released early on good behavior, but soon heard the news of his possible deportation. The threat of deportation became more real as he attempted to escape deportation with help from officials at the Sierra Leone embassy. The rapper took the news hard, breaking down in tears and expressing his disappointment. L.A.J. complained about his status, saying that he never wanted to go back to Sierra Leone due to his lack of job skills and how accustomed he has become to the American lifestyle. Ultimately, he was sent back to Sierra Leone and continues to fight his deportation. He expressed disappointment at having to wait until deportation to appeal his deportation order, but he's hopeful that he'll be able to return to the country. For now, he remains in Sierra Leone. 4. Slick Rick. Born in London, England, Slick Rick is an influential rapper that made headlines when he faced deportation. Named Ricky Walters at birth, he got into an argument in 1990 with a former employee, who was also a relative, that eventually became fatal. The rapper shot the unidentified man on a corner in New York City, committing a crime that put him in the eyes of ICE. Rick pled guilty to his charges, which included 2 counts of attempted murder, criminal possession of a weapon, use of a firearm, and assault. He spent a number of years in prison and was released in 1997. 4 years later, INS arrested him when he was trying to re-enter the country after touring in the Caribbean. Over the next 5 years, he fought against his deportation in court, eventually being granted a pardon by the governor of New York at the time. He continued to fight for citizenship, being officially sworn in as a citizen of the United States in 2016. Slick Rick spent 23 years going through his battle for citizenship before finally attaining the status he wanted. He now lives in the country with no fear of being deported and is able to move around freely. 3. Chippy Nonstop. Canadian native Chippy Nonstop was banned from entering the United States again after she went on tour and performed in Asia. She expected to be greeted at the airport by her boyfriend, but instead she found herself speaking to a customs agent. She was taken into a room that would remind anyone of a prison and given 3 choices. Her first choice was that she could return to Japan, where she had finished her tour. The second choice they gave her was to go to India, where her parents were originally born. Her final choice was to go to Canada because she has a Canadian passport. She chose to go to Canada since it was the closest to the States and the cheapest option. She says she feels American even though she wasn't born in the country and holds a Canadian passport. She had lived in the United States since the age of 2, remaining legal under her parents' visas along with a student visa as well as a temporary visa. Chippy was applying for an artist visa when she got the opportunity to tour Thailand and Japan. She couldn't pass up the opportunity, as the process for applying for a visa is long and can be very confusing. Chippy continues to fight for her citizenship, as all of her family and friends reside in the U.S. 2. Shine. Shine, known as Jamal Barrow to his friends and loved ones, was born in Belize. His family moved to Brooklyn when he was a child, but he was never naturalized and did not become a citizen of the United States. In 1999, the rapper was involved in a shooting at a club while out on the town with P. Diddy and J-Lo. The rapper was found guilty and served a 10-year prison sentence for his crime. He converted to Judaism and had his name changed to Moses Levi while he was incarcerated. Shine accepted that he would be required to temporarily relocate to Belize. Otherwise, he would simply remain in a detention center until his immigration status was straightened out. While the rap star expressed disappointment in having to return home, he's living his best life in his native land and soaking up the sun. His Instagram tells the story of beautiful beaches, gorgeous people, and celebrity visitors. He's fighting his deportation in style, making exile seem like a lavish vacation. 1. 21 Savage. One of the biggest cases of the year is 21 Savage, a popular rapper that was born in the United Kingdom. He moved to Georgia at a young age, calling Atlanta his home, and building a rap career under the moniker 21 Savage. 21 Savage had been living illegally in the country for more than a decade, as his visa expired in the year of 2006. He feared speaking about his British origins, as he didn't want to risk deportation. However, as we all know, that ship sailed when he was arrested in February of 2019 by ICE agents. The arrest is allegedly targeted, as the rapper had spoken out about ICE and the United States immigration policy in his songs. ICE cited his previous convictions as well as his illegal immigrant status during the arrest, providing evidence of his birthplace with his birth certificate. A lot of people were surprised to find out Savage, a guy who unapologetically represented Atlanta, was actually born in a different country. So, of course, there were too many memes to count. But more than anything, people were concerned about his well-being, as he was being held in one of the worst immigration detention centers in the U.S., and also the impending risk of Savage being displaced from the area he calls home. After more than a week, Savage was released from ICE custody, and he now has Jay-Z's team of lawyers fighting for his right to stay in America. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you click the like button and don't forget to subscribe. Did we miss any rappers who got deported? Let us know in the comments below.